There lived a woman who had 3 sons. In the garden in front of their house there grew a wonderful apple tree. Every year it gave just one apple, but it was no ordinary apple. It was a golden apple.
But every time the apple was ripe and ready for picking, at night when the apple was shining and brightening the whole garden, a dragon would come and snatch the golden apple.
One year, when the apple was almost ripe, the eldest son went to his mother and said,
Mother, I will keep the apple from the dragon this year. Give me a knife and a bag of walnuts to keep me awake, please.
When the night came, the eldest son sat under the tree and started cracking walnuts. Suddenly, a strong wind blew in his face, and all of the trees in the garden bended backwards. A dark cloud covered the moon and the stars. The dragon came down from the dark cloud and he grabbed the golden apple. Before the eldest son could come to his senses, the dragon was gone.
The next year, the middle son went to his mother and told her,
Mother, this year I will try to keep the apple. Give me a knife and some walnuts.
He sat under the tree and he started cracking walnuts and eating them. He was so consumed in what he was doing that he didn't even realize when the dragon came down and took the apple away.
The third year, the youngest son said,
Mother, it is my turn to keep the apple. Give me the knife.
In the evening he climbed up on the tree and hid in the branches close to the golden apple. Towards midnight he heard a heavy roar, the earth started trembling, and he saw the dragon dashing to the golden apple.
But the youngest brother suddenly jumped on the beast with a knife in his hand. The youngest son bravely fought with the dragon, boldly attacking the beast. Finally, he managed to stab the dragon once with his knife. The dragon roared with pain, but struggling with his wound, he managed to fly away.
The youngest son proudly picked the golden apple and took it to his dear mother.
In the meantime, his older brothers were both asleep. The youngest son woke them up, and they all went to look for the wounded dragon. They followed the drops of blood on the road, which took them to a cave. The cave was so dark and so deep that they couldn't see its bottom.
The eldest brother said that he was the bravest and he should go in the cave first. They put a rope around his waist and he went down in. He went as far as the middle of the cave and he got so scared that he started pulling the rope to give his brother a signal to take him out of the cave.
After him, the middle brother decided to go into the cave. He also got very scared and he went out of the cave very fast. The youngest brother's turn came. He said,
Now it is my turn. If I pull the rope once, descend me further. If I pull it twice, take me out.
Then he started his descent into the cave. He reached the bottom of the dark cave, walked for a while, and he found the palace of the dragon. In the garden in front of the palace, he saw 3 beautiful girls. 2 of them were playing with golden apples, and the youngest and the prettiest of them was playing with an ordinary red apple.
Good day, ladies. Let me in.
The young man said.
Go back, you brave man.
The youngest girl was startled.
If the dragon finds you, he will eat you. The dragon is so angry right now. He went to find me a golden apple, but came back all covered in blood. Run away before it is not too late.
The young man did not listen to this advice. He jumped over the fence and went straight to the palace. In a short while, a mighty roar came from the palace. The youngest brother killed the dragon, released the girls, who were actually captured princesses, and he took them to the rope.
He tied the first princess with the rope and pulled it twice. His brothers pulled the princess up to the surface. Then he tied the rope around the second princess and his brother took her out as well. Only the youngest and the prettiest one remained, he told her.
When they take you out of the cave and they see how beautiful you are, my brothers will start fighting for you and they won't take me out. If I go out first and pull you out, something may happen while you are here all alone and I won't be able to help you. However, I think it is best if you go first. If my brothers care for me, they will take me out too. If they don't, I will find another way to get out of this cave.
Then the princess told him,
Take this ring. I am giving it to you because I like you. If your brothers start fighting up there, I will tell them that I shall marry the man who can give me magical clothes. And the truth is that only the man who has this ring can do that. But be aware that if your brothers don't take you up soon, the earth will open and you will fall even deeper down below. There you will see 2 rams, one white and the other one black. If you fall on the white ram's back, the ram will take you out in the upper world. If you fall on the black ram, the ram will take you to the underworld.
In the meantime, the brothers started pulling up the rope. The youngest brother took the ring and bid the princess farewell. Then he waited for a while to see if his brothers would put the rope back in for him. But he waited in vain. The earth below his feet suddenly parted and he fell down straight on the back of the black ram. The black ram took him even further down below to the underworld. He threw him out there and disappeared.
The poor young man didn't know where to go, and he simply chose one road at random to see where it would take him. He walked for some time and reached a small house at the outskirts of a big town. There lived an old woman who was so alone, and she invited the young man to be her guest. For dinner, the old woman started to knead bread, but instead of water, she kneaded the dough with her tears.
Why are you crying, old lady? Why are you kneading the dough with your tears?
The young man asked.
How can I not cry, my son? There's a dragon in the neighborhood, and he doesn't let us take any water from the river unless we give him a girl to eat. And I had 6 daughters. I gave them all to the dragon, and I have no one left. The dragon hasn't given us any water for a whole year now. Today the king sent his daughters to the dragon. If the dragon devours her, he will not be hungry anymore, and we will let the river flow again. Tomorrow we will have water.
When he heard the sad story, the young man jumped on his feet, asked the old woman for directions, and went to look for the princess. He reached the place just in time. The beast was just going to eat the girl who was tied up to a tree. When the dragon spotted the young man, his 3 heads started roaring and exhaling flames. The young man remained calm, and with one stroke of his sword, he chopped all 3 heads of the monster. The dragon died, and at that very moment water started flowing and pouring in all rivers, springs and fontaines of the kingdom.
When the young man took the princess back to her father, the king couldn't believe his eyes.
I will give you anything you want, young man. I will give you even my kingdom if you want.
Thank you, your majesty. All I want is to go back to my world again.
Well, this is beyond my powers. If you find somebody who can do it, I will do anything to help you.
So the prince started asking around to see who could take him back to his world. A man told him to ask the mother eagle. The mother eagle was very unhappy because she has been trying forever to raise her little eaglets, but she couldn't. The young man heard about this and he found the tree where the mother eagle nested. He lay down below it and fell asleep. All of a sudden he woke up because he heard the cries of the eaglets. He looked up and he saw a 3-headed snake creeping up the tree. The youngest brother didn't think twice. He took his sword out and chopped the 3 heads of the snake.
When the mother eagle and the father eagle came back to the nest, they headed straight to the young man, but the eagle started crying.
This man killed the 3-headed snake and saved us.
The old eagle stopped and said,
Thank you so much for saving our children. How can we ever thank you back?
There is something you can do for me. Please, take me back to the upper world. This is where I live.
Well, we can take you there, but at first you shall find 9 cows and put their meat in a trunk. Prepare a gallon of water as well. When you're ready, we will put you on our wings and we'll take you out to your world.
The young man did as the eagles wanted. He prepared a big trunk with cow's meat and lots of water. When he was ready, the eagles put him and the big trunk on their mighty wings, and they flew away together. Every time they were hungry, the young man would give them a piece of meat. Every time they were thirsty, the young man would give them water. Soon the meat was over. The young man didn't know what to do, so when the eagles asked for food again, he cut some of his own flesh. They flew and flew for a whole month.
Then one day they finally reached the upper world. The eaglets left the young man there, but before flying back, they asked him,
Young man, what was that meat you gave us at the end? It was so tasty.
The young man admitted that he had fed them with his own flesh. The eagles were so impressed with his sacrifice that they gave the flesh back to him.
The young man was happy to be back to his world. He went straight home and found his brother still fighting over the youngest and prettiest princess. When the princess saw him, she said,
I shall marry the man who can give me magical clothes.
The youngest brother remembered the ring the princess had given him. He turned it on his finger, and the most beautiful dress appeared in front of everyone.
The princess and the youngest brother soon got married. The brothers stopped fighting, and everyone in their house was happy ever after.